If you're thinking about immigrating to Canada, you probably already thought about all the big things: housing, job hunting, cost of living, immigration paperwork, and so on. But are you aware of the hidden costs of moving to Canada? And no, I'm not talking about money. A 2012 survey found that 29% of immigrants in Canada reported high levels of stress, with even higher rates reported among females. Stress, confusion, loneliness, disconnection, to name just a few, these don't show up in our research and they hardly ever get acknowledged. I'm talking about the emotional realities we newcomers often find ourselves facing shortly after we arrive. In this video, I'm going to walk us through the 5 emotional stages most of newcomers go through and the 6 tools that will actually help us feel human and grounded again. So if you're preparing to move, or if you're already here but wondering what is wrong with me, this video is for you. Before we move on, if you're new to my channel, hi, I'm Bella. I moved to Canada from China in 2019. And on this channel, I talk about what it's really like to start over in Canada. Not just the logistics, but also the emotional journey, because there's more to immigration than paperwork. As we go through each emotional stage, I want you to think about which one you're in right now, because recognizing where we are is the first step to moving forward. Okay, so here are the 5 emotional stages most of us experience after we get to Canada. Stage number 1, identity disorientation, or as I would like to call it, who am I here stage. So back in our home country, we had momentum. We knew who we were, what we were good at. We built a life around the people that we loved and the things that we were familiar with. But here, all of a sudden, none of those things seems to count. Our employers don't recognize our qualifications and experience. Degrees don't always translate. According to a 2024 Statistics Canada study, in 2021, 26.7% of recent immigrants with a bachelor's degree or higher work in positions requiring only a high school diploma or less in Canada. This is 3 times higher than the rate of Canadian-born workers. So we find ourselves asking, who am I here? What am I going to do now? How do I demonstrate my knowledge and expertise here? Stage number 2, emotional isolation, or the why can I connect stage. People are friendly here in Canada, but somehow we still feel invisible. We chat with our coworkers and colleagues, people that we meet at the grocery store. We greet our neighbors every day, but real connections rarely happen. A 2021 Statistics Canada report showed that both recent and long-term immigrants reported higher levels of emotional and social loneliness than the Canadian-born across various socio-economic and demographic groups. So that means whether we're married or single, in our 20s or 60s, we all share this overwhelming sense of isolation. And it's not that we're not trying to build connections with others. We try to stay open-minded and sometimes go out of our way to make friendships happen. But for cultural or other reasons, there always seemed to be this invisible wall between us and the others. It's almost like no one told us this new rules about making friends. Stage number 3, cultural mismatch at work, or the am I doing something wrong at work stage. So we try to fit in, we do our job well, but still something feels off. Workplace culture feels different, feedback often isn't direct, and the social dynamics in the office are also different. While there are no specific statistics to show the success rate of recent immigrants adapting to the Canadian workplace, this particular study in 2020 clearly outlines the prevalent barriers in the integration experiences of newcomers. And these barriers are mostly caused by factors like lack of multiculturalism in the workplace, pressure to conform to the dominant cultural norms, and the preconceived notions and biases about different cultures. The result? Exhaustion, self-doubt, and sometimes burnout. Not because we're not capable, but because we never get the sense of belonging. Stage 4. Expectation collapse, or the did I make a mistake coming here stage. We came to Canada not expecting a life that would be perfect, but at least one that provides fairness and opportunities. Instead, we're constantly struggling with things that are out of our control. This is when we start wondering, is this really what I moved thousands of miles for? The worst part is there's not a single thing that we can put our finger on and say that's wrong, but rather 1,000 small things that are just not right. So we're stuck in this big gap between the reality we live in every day and the expectations we had. Stage 5, silent grief, or the why did I come here stage. At some point, we start missing the version of ourselves back home, the person who felt confident, known, and understood. But who do we talk to about this? People back home think that we've already made it. We're in Canada, after all. As a 2021 study stated, immigrants often have to navigate complex feelings of belonging and alienation, which can in turn alter their self-perception and social roles within both their immigrant community and the broader Canadian society. So this can lead to what psychologists call ambiguous loss, which translates to grieving a version of ourselves or lifestyle without clear closure. Ambiguous loss is a theory brought up by Dr. Pauline Boss that describes a type of loss where there's no clear conclusion or closure, making it difficult to grieve and cope. So what do? We keep it to ourselves and we suffer in silence. These emotional and mindset shifts are extremely common among newcomers, but they are rarely discussed. There is really no universal timelines when these emotions would start to hit you, but recognizing the pattern does help us ride the wave instead of being swallowed by it. And the good news? There are ways to move through them. Let's talk about the 6 tools that can make a difference for you. All the tools and resources mentioned in this video will be linked in the description box down below. Make sure to check them out. So here is our emotional survival roadmap. 6 tools that will actually make us feel human and supported again. Tool number 1, normalize the struggle. We're not failing, we're simply adjusting. Feeling confused or out of place is a natural reaction to major life disruptions, like moving to a different country. And when we realize others feel the same, it lifts the shame and pressure. And here are some of the things that we can do to achieve that. We can choose to listen to podcasts like Immigrantly or Changing Lenses, because hearing real stories from other immigrants reminds us that we're not alone and gives us the language for what we're feeling. Or you can read stories about other immigrants in Canada on platforms like Reddit, because seeing others share their struggles and small wins can normalize our own experiences and offer practical tips from people who are just a few steps ahead of us. We can even keep a small wins journal where we write down little tiny moments of success or tiny moments of progress, because it helps us reframe our mindset and builds emotional momentum, especially on those hard days. Tool number 2, join low-pressure spaces. Familiar faces can build comfort, and repetition and shared experiences help us feel safe. Showing up regularly in casual places allows connection to build slowly and organically. For example, we can check out some weekly fitness or hobby group, because doing something fun or familiar on a regular basis will help build comfort through routine and opens the door to natural, low-pressure connections. Or check out the conversation circles at your local libraries, because those welcoming spaces often offer a safe way to practice English, build your confidence, ask questions, and meet others who might be in the same situation as you. Or go on volunteering website and look for those one-time volunteering opportunities. Volunteering gives us a sense of purpose and helps us contribute to the community and let us meet people without the pressure of any long-term commitment. Tool number 3, find value-aligned community. We don't need to find people necessarily from the same background. We just need to find people who care about some of the things that we care about. And that's where real belonging starts. For example, we can go to meetup.com, join a group based on your hobbies and interests like photography, hiking, yoga, or tech, which will make it easy for us to bond with others beyond small talk. Or we can check out Facebook or WhatsApp groups for the newcomers in your city or for the particular profession. These online spaces connect us with people who can understand our current stage of life and can offer tips, referrals, and encouragement. Or we can check out local faith or community groups. Whether or not you're religious, these groups can usually offer a very strong sense of belonging, shared values, or simply practical newcomer support. Tool number 4, take mental health seriously and early. Emotional exhaustion is common, but we don't have to wait till we break down to seek help. Studies show that access to mental health services among immigrants in Canada is notably lower compared to Canadian born individuals for various cultural or structural barriers, with East Asian and Pacific newcomers having the lowest rates. This proves that it has never been more important for those who need help to get it early, to protect our mental well being and help us stay resilient long term. So, what we can do is ask our doctor, if we have a family doctor, about local counseling, because our family doctor can refer us to free or low cost mental health services for newcomers. Or if you don't have a family doctor, get on Wellness Together Canada. That's a national platform that offers anonymous, no cost mental health tools, live text support, and guided self help programs available anytime. Or seek out a settlement worker. Settlement workers aren't just for paperwork. They're trained to support emotional and social challenges newcomer might come across and can connect you to helpful local resources. Tool number 5, anchor yourself with one thing. Start something that's just yours. When everything feels unfamiliar, having one personal habit or project can give you a sense of stability and control. It can help you rebuild your identity on your own term. We can do things like keeping a daily voice memo, speaking our thoughts out loud, even just to our phone. It can help process emotions and track our growth over time. Or we can take a free online course. There are quite a few platforms that offer that service, because learning something just for you can help you rebuild your confidence, readjust your focus, and remind you that your interests don't matter. Last but not least, try journal every Sunday night or every other night you want, because creating a simple weekly ritual gives structure to your week and helps you reconnect with your values and progress. I personally find that setting aside some time just for myself can do wonders, especially when I'm having a bad day. Tool number 6, redefine progress. Progress isn't linear, it's personal. When our expectations don't match reality, it's easy to feel like we're failing. Usually during those times, we're our own worst enemy by being overly judgmental and critical towards ourselves. So by tracking small emotional wins, we start to see real growth happening, even when it's really slow. We can ask ourselves some reflection questions every week, like what felt hard or what felt like growth. Because taking time to notice what felt hard or meaningful shifts your focus from what's missing to how far you have come. Or we can keep a first list, like the first time we were invited to a coffee by a friend, the first job we had, the first joke we've told in English, all those moments that are worth celebrating. And it helps you see that you are building a life here, even if it looks different than you expected. So yes, moving to Canada has costs that we rarely talk about. But when we recognize them, accept them, and face them, we get something even better in return. We get to build a much stronger and more resilient self than we've ever expected. These may not be the stories we imagined when we moved, but they're real. So what stage are you in? Drop it in the comments if you like. And remember, you're not in this alone. All the studies and resources mentioned in this video will be linked down in the description box. Feel free to access them if you need. If any of this resonated with you, please hit the like and subscribe button and stay connected. It will really help push my content to more viewers in similar situations. At the end of the day, we're all figuring out this together. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.